Good morning, students. Myself, K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in the Department of SNH, Chevrolet Engineering College. Title, Band Theory of Solids. Today's topic, Cronin-Penny model. Last sessions, we discussed about the effective mass of electron. That means, according to Bloch theory, electron in the metal move with a periodical potential due to electron having various velocity. Based on various velocity, mass of the electron is also various. So this varying mass of the electron is nothing but effective mass of the electron, and it is indicated by the symbol m star. And in the last class, we discussed the expression for the m star also. Now today's session, we discuss about the Cronin-Penny model. This is completely based on the Bloch theorem. So this is the figure. So here, positive nucleus, that is a lattice ion core, positive lattice ion core in solids. Okay. Now, the electrons move with a periodical potential produced by a positive ion core. That means, as electron move towards the nucleus, its potential is gradually decreases, and between the two positive ion cores, the potential of the electron is maximum. So let us consider. So this is in a square waveform. So this square waveform, that is at the positive ion core, this is act as a potential well. So when the particle is present in this potential well, that is near to positive ion core, its potential is taking as a 0, and between the two positive ion cores, the potential is a maximum, and this maximum value is taken as a V naught. That means the potential of the particle between 0 to A, that is in potential well or bounded region of the electron, is 0, and the particle between minus B and 0, that is between two positive ion cores, its potential is maximum, let it be V naught. So simply in one word, particle potential near to positive ion core is 0, between two adjacent nucleuses, maximum potential, that is V naught. So V of x is equal to 0. Here the V of x is potential. Potential is 0 between 0 and A. Potential is V naught between minus B and 0. Now, let us take Schrodinger's time-independent wave equation for these two regions. Actually, let us recall Schrodinger's time-independent wave equation is in one-dimensional d square xi dx square plus 2m by h cross square E minus V xi equal to 0. So this is the Schrodinger's time-independent wave equation. Now apply V of x is equal to 0 for the region 0 to A. At this case, potential value is 0. That means substitute the V value here 0. Then we get the expression as d square xi by dx square plus 2me divided by h cross square xi. So simply by applying this condition for this Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. So this is the Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. Now by taking V as 0 for the region 0 to A, then we get the equation 2. In a similar manner, now apply Schrodinger's time independent wave equation for this case. That is by taking V value as a V naught for the region minus B to 0. Then we get the equation 2. That is d square xi divided by dx square plus 2m by h cross square e minus v naught. So in place of v, substitute the v naught here, xi equal to 0. So these are the two new equations for these two conditions. So this is the Schrodinger's time independent wave equation for the region 0 to A. So this for the region 0 to A. And for the region minus B to 0, this is the expression. Now, by taking 2m by 2me by h cross square as a alpha square and 2m divided by h cross square e minus v naught as beta square. So here, this is the one of the another condition, as energy E is very less as compared to V naught, as energy is very less as compared to V naught. So we can written as E minus V naught as a V naught minus E. So having, because as V naught is very high value, maximum value as compared to energy. So we change the E minus V naught as a V naught minus E. Now, by substituting the alpha square value here, then we get expression 2 as, that is equation 2 as d square xi divided by dx square. Now in place of 2me divided by h cross square as a alpha square here, therefore alpha square xi is equal to 0. So this is the expression for the region 0 to A. In a similar manner, this is taking as a beta square. Now this expression is changed as a d square xi divided by dx square. So here we have actually E minus V naught, but here we consider as a beta square into V naught by minus E. For the balancing, here we select the minus here, okay? For interchanging of these two values, for compensative, we have to take plus value as a minus here. If you use E minus V naught again, then again you choose the plus value here. So for balancing this equation, just we put minus here, because actually in beta square, we have to take V naught minus E. For the balancing purpose, here we use minus beta square. So these are the new expressions for the regions 0 to A and minus B to 0. Simply, this 0 to A is also called bounded region or potential well region, whatever it may be, already, or it will look like a particle in a box also. Okay. Now, it is a second order differential equation. Already we discussed in Bloch theorem. Whenever we consider the potential of the electron as a periodical potential, then solutions of the Schrodinger equations are changed as a, that is according to Bloch's theorem. The solution of this expression is written in the form of xi1 of x equal to, actually the generalized form of Bloch is xi of x is equal to xi k of x is equal to uk of x exponential of I k x. This is a generalized form of Bloch theorem. So for example, if you take this is as a 1, then in suffix we use 1. This is the second equation, we use a suffix as a 2. So these are the generalized solutions of the equation 6 and 7. So for equation 6, the solution is in the form of xi1 of x, u1 of x, exponential of ikx. Similarly, the solution of equation 7 is xi2 of x equal to u2 of x exponential of ikx. So here, now these equation 8 and 9 both are differentiation with respect to x by 2 times, and then these expressions are substituted here. We get the equations in the form of u1 and u2. So these are the two solutions of the equation 6 and 7. Now, by differentiating this equation 8 with respect to x twice times and substitute equation 6, we get expression of, in terms of u as d square u1 by dx square plus 2ik du1 divided by dx plus alpha square minus k square u1 equal to 0. That means equation 8, differentiation with respect to x by 2 times, and substitute here equation 6, we get again expression in terms of u1. In the similar way, again equation 9, differentiate with respect to x 2 times, and substitute here in equation 7, we get the expression as d square u2 by dx square plus 2ik du2 divided by dx minus beta square plus k square u2 equal to 0. Okay. Actually, our aim is to solve this equation For this purpose, according to Bloch theorem, the solutions of these equation 6 and 7 are in the form of equation 8 and 9. So by using these equations 8 and 9, substitute here, again we get a second order differential equations in these two forms. So this is the solution of the equation 6 by taking equation 8. And this is the solution of the equation 7 as by taking solution sin2 of x, that is equation 9. So again, we have a second order differential equations are forming here. This is also d square u1 by dx square. And this is also gives d square u2 by dx square. So again, we have to solve these two equations by taking solutions are like in the form, by taking u1 of x is equal to a e power I alpha minus k into x, that is exponential, plus b e to the power of minus I alpha plus k into x. Now the solution of this equation, that is d square u2 by dx square plus 2ik du2 by dx minus beta square plus k square u2 is equal to 0. Now the solution of this equation is in the form of u2 of x equal to c e to the power of b minus ikx plus d e to the power of minus beta plus ik into x. Actually, by substituting the solution in this equation 6, again we have constants u1 and u2 here, and we have a second order differential equations also. So to calculate the solution of this equation, so again we choose the solution is in the form of equation 10 and 11. But still it have constants again a, b, c, d. Now how to calculate the a, b, c, d values? So for the calculation purpose, these are the conditions. So by using these conditions, we can calculate the a, b, c, d value here. So what are the conditions? u1 of x at x is equal to 0 equivalent to u2 of x at x is equal to 0. Let us take first condition, u1 of x at x is equal to 0. Then what happened here? Let us observe that u1 of x. So a e power I alpha minus k. So here x is taken as a 0. Okay, now 0 plus b e to the power of minus I alpha plus k into 0. Then if this expression is changed as a 0 into something is a 0. Here also 0 into something is 0. So e power 0. Anything power 0 is taken as a 1. Then this entire term is taken as a. Similarly, here e power is value also 0. So anything power 0 is 1. Then we get expression a plus b. So u1 of x at x is equal to 0 value gives a plus b. Now again calculate the u2 of x at x is equal to 0. That is, now follow that, c e power beta minus ik into 0 as x is equal to 0. Okay, plus d e to the power of minus beta plus ik into 0 into 0. Now 0 into anything value, the center value 0 and e power 0 value is 1. So C, similarly here also 0 into something is 0, e power 0 is 1. C plus it. So by taking u1 of x at x is equal to 0, we get a plus b. And u2 of x at x is equal to 0, we get c plus d. Now this equation is changed as a plus b equal to c plus d. So in the same way, follow these three conditions also. That means by differentiating the equation 10 and substitute the x value is equal to 0. Again, differentiation the equation 11 and substitute the x value as 0. Now, these two equations are equivalent and track here. Similarly, x value as taking a in these two equations and equating here. That is equation 3. Similarly, x value as taken as a for this equation 10 differentiation, and similarly equation 11 differentiation, substitute x value as a b. By equating we get another equation. So by calculating these 4 equations, we get 4 expressions here. So that means by applying the boundary conditions, we get 4 linear equations. Actually, before we get a differential equation, second order differentiation, that is order is 2. By further process, finally we get the linear equations, that is order is changed to 1. Okay. So here, the process of finding the solution of the Schrodinger's wave equation is somewhat difficult. So once again, I repeat the process. Okay. According to band theory of solids, that is from Bloch theorem, electrons are moved with a periodic potential. That is, as they move towards the nucleus, its potential is 0. Between the nucleus, its potential is a maximum. So this mathematically expressed as V of x equal to 0 for 0 less than x less than a, that is between the region 0 to a. And potential is V naught between the region minus b to 0. Now, these are the Schrodinger's time independent wave equations. Actually, this is the Schrodinger's time independent wave equation. Now, by taking these two conditions, by applying to here, by applying first condition as taking b as a 0, then this equation is changed as d square xi divided by dx square plus 2me divided by h cross square. So here b value is 0, so xi equal to 0. Now the second condition, that is d square xi divided by dx square plus 2m by h cross square e minus here v naught. So these are the equations 2 and 3. Now for the easy to calculation purpose, let us replace 2me by h cross square value as a alpha square and a 2m by h cross square e minus, actually here e minus v naught, but we have to take v naught minus e as a b naught, b square. So beta square Then these equation 2 and 3 are changed as d square xi divided by dx square plus by taking alpha square xi equal to 0. And similarly for balancing the here e minus v naught as a v naught minus e, here we put a minus here. Therefore, d square xi by dx square minus beta square xi is equal to 0. So these are the second order differential equations. According to Bloch theory, the solutions of these equations are in the form of, actually this is a generalized form, xi k of x equal to uk of x exponential of ikx. So for these two equations, they are in the form of xi1 of x. Solution is for the sixth equation, and xi2 of x is the solution of equation 7. Now, here the very important step is by differentiating the equation 8 with respect to x by 2 times and substituting here equation 6, we get the expression in terms of u1 as, this is the equation, d square u1 dx square plus 2ik du1 by dx plus alpha square minus k square u1 equal to 0. Again, in the same way, equation 9, differentiate with respect to x by 2 times and substituting in equation 7, we get expression in the form of u2 variables. So that is d square u2 divided by dx square plus 2ik du2 divided by dx minus beta square plus k square u2 equal to 0. That means, again we get the second order differential equation. By solving this equation, again we get the second order differential equation in the variable of u1 and u2. So again we have to solve these two equations by taking the solutions are in the form of u1x as a e to the power of I alpha minus k into x plus b e to the power of minus I alpha plus k into x. Similarly, for the second equation, for this equation, u2 of x solution, u2 of x equal to c e to the power of beta minus ik into x plus d e to the power of minus beta plus ik into x. So here we have to variables a, b, c, d. So these constant are calculated with the help of boundary conditions. So what are the boundary conditions? These are the 4 boundary conditions. So by calculating these 4 boundary conditions, 4 linear equations are formed. A, B, C, D equations are formed. Again, these linear equations by are solving with a formula of minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, that is roots of a linear equation. Then finally we get the coefficients of a, b, c, d. We get the final expression as beta square minus alpha square divided by 2 alpha beta sine h beta b sine alpha a plus cos h beta b cos alpha a equal to cos k. This is the final equation. But still we have to calculate it. The aim is how the energy bands are formed. That means what is the distance between the energy band, successive energy bands, and what is the width of the energy band and width of the forbidden energy band. So these relations, basing on this Cronin-Penny model, brilliant zones are also expressed. The continuous concept is that, but that is not in our syllabus. So these next further we discuss about the a brief explanation about the what are the concepts, what are the points we have to discuss, conclusions. What are the conclusions from this Cronin-Penny model that will be discussed in the next section. Okay. Thank you to all.